Perhaps, Mr. Mayor, before we start enrolling names, it might be as well if I was to say a few words like outlining the type of service the lads is likely to find overseas and so forth.
Have you got my name down?
No, not yet.
Are you sure of that?
Well, I am sure. Do you want me to take it?
Some of us was a bit full, like, in the boozer last night.
A man's pleasuring, friend, that's all. There's no harm in that. You drank along of me and you promised you'd come and hear me this morning. Well, here you are.
Ah, provisional. I thought that's what it was. Provisional.
Provisional or not, we're not signing out without we've heard more. So go on then, soldier, tell us. Prove it's better to be shot than starved. We'll listen to you, man, because we're ready to believe. And more of us and all.
Go on, Sergeant, tell us. It's a long, strong tale. Quiet while he tells it. Quiet!
Now, there's more tales than one about the army. And a lot of funny jokers to run around and spread them too. Aye, we've all heard of them. We all know about them. And it's not my job this morning to swear to you what's true and what's not true. Of course, you'll find there's an RSM here or a Provocant there. What makes you cut the grass with nail scissors or dust the parade ground with a toothbrush. It's all the bowl and it's all in the game. But it's not what sends me here, and it's not what puts these stripes on my arm. And it's not at all to do with my life or these two with me or any of yours. So easy, my boys, don't think on. There was another lad with you colliers in and out last night. He ought to be here. Go and fetch him, Joe Bludgeon, will you? You know where he is. So I'll tell you what the work is. Open up the box. Now this is the rifle. This is what we term the butt of the rifle. And this is the barrel. This here's the magazine. And this, well, you should know what this trigger is. You should know what it does. Well, the rifle's a good weapon. It's new, quick, accurate. And this is the bayonet. Fits like so. It kills men smart, and it's good, and it's beautiful. But I've more to show you than a rifle. Open it up! This is the newest. This is the smartest. Call it the most beautiful. It's a Gatling gun, this. Watch how it works. Attercliffe.
The rounds are fed to the chambers, which are arranged in a radical fashion by means of a hopper-shaped aperture here. Now, pay attention while I go through the preliminary process of loading.
Now, the point being that here we've got a gun that doesn't shoot like bang, rattle, click, up the spout, what are we waiting for, bang, but bang, 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 and there's not a man alive in the whole of this marketplace. Modern times. Progress. 350 rounds in 1 minute. Flat. Is he coming?
He is, Sergeant.
Now then, you see, the gun's loaded.
It didn't take long, you see.
No.
Well, the question remains as to the use of these weapons. Now, you'll ask me, what's their purpose? Seeing we beat the Russians in the Crimea, there's no war with France. There may be, but there isn't yet. And Germany's our friend, so who do we have to fight? Well, the Reverend answered that for you in his good short words. Now, me and my three lads, two lads I'd say rather, we belong to a regiment is a few thousand miles from here. In a little country without much importance except from the point of view that there's a Union Jack flies over it. And the people of that country can write British subject after their names. And that makes us proud.
I tell you, it makes us proud.
We live in tattered tents in the rain. We eat rotten food. There's knives in the dark streets and blood on the floors of the hospitals. But we stand tall and proud because of why we are there.
Because we're there to serve our duty.
A soldier's duty is a soldier's life. A soldier's life is to lay it down against the enemies of the Queen, against the invaders of his home, against slavery, cruelty, tyrants.
You put on the uniform and you give your life away. And who do you give it to?
You give it to your duty.
And you give it to your people for peace and for honesty. That's my book. What's yours, Mr. Mayor?
Eh? What?
I'm not a reading man, but it sounds all right. Strong. Strong!
What about yours, parson?
You speak with enthusiasm, yes. I hope you'll be listened to.
By God, I hope I am. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I'm the Queen of England's man, and I'm wearing her coat and I know her book backwards. I'm Black Jack Musgrave, me, the hardest sergeant of the line. I work for my life to bugle and drum. For 18 years I fought for one flag only. Salute it in the morning. Can you hold it down the dark? The last post of a living life? Look, I'll show it to you all. And I'll dance for you beneath it. Hoist up the flag, boy! Up! 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 Up he goes and no one knows how to bring him downwards. Dead men's feet over the street, riding the roofs and crying down your chimneys. Up he goes and no one knows who it was that rose him. But white and red he waves his head, he sits in your back and you never lose. Up he goes and no one knows how to bring him downward. That'll do! That'll do for that. You can come back. Come back. Come back. We're all quiet now. But nobody move out of this marketplace. You saw the gun loaded. Well, it's on a very quick swivel and the man behind it's well trained. So be good and be gentle, all of you.
Do you intend to imply you are threatening us with these weapons?
The man's gone balmy. Constable, do something! Grab him, quick!
Be quiet, I shan't warn again. You stay there, Constable. There. Now, I said I'll explain. So listen. This skeleton up here, he was a comrade of mine. Of ours. At least he was till a few months since. He was killed, being there for his duty in the country I was telling you about, where the regiment is stationed. It's not right, a colony, you know. It's a sort of protectorate, but British, you know. British. And this, up here, he was walking down a street late-ish at night. He'd been at the opera. You've got a choral society in this town, I dare say. Well, he was only a soldier, but North Country, he was full of music, and so he goes to the opera. And on his way again to camp, he was shot in the back. And it's not surprising neither. There were patriots abroad, anti-British, subversive, like they didn't care, like they didn't dare to shoot him to his face. He was daft to be out alone, wasn't he? Out of bounds, after curfew.
Get onto the words as matter, Sergeant.
I'm talking now, you wait your turn. So, we come to the words as matter. He was the 3rd to be shot that week. He was the 15th that month, in the back and all, add to which he was young. He was liked. He sang songs, they say, and he joked and he laughed. He was a good soldier too, else I'd not have bothered. We'll leave out his sliding off to the opera WL, but by and large good, and I've got standards. So at 12 o'clock at night they beat up the drums and sounded the calls and called out the guard, and the guard calls us all out, and the road is red and slippery, and every soldier in the camp, no longer in the camp but in the streets of that city, rifle butts, bayonets, every street cut off for 8 blocks north and west of the Opera House, and that's how it began.
The streets is empty, but the houses is full. He says no undue measures, minimum violence, he says, but bring in the killers.
The killers are gone. They've gone miles off in that time, sporting away right up in the mountains. I told you at the time.
That's not material. There's one man is dead, but there's everyone's responsible.
So bring a lot in. It's easy. They're all in bed. Kick the front doors in. Knock 'em on the head, boys. Chuck 'em in the wagons.
I didn't know she was only a little kid. There were scores of them on that staircase, pitch dark, trampling, screaming. They're all of them screaming. What are we to do?
Knock 'em on the head, boys. Chuck 'em in the wagons.
How was I to tell she was only a little kid?
That's not material! You were told to bring him in. If you killed her, you killed her. She was just one, and who cares a damn for that? Stay in your place, Attercliffe, and keep your hands on that Gatling. We've got to have order here. Whatever there was there, and I can tell you it wasn't order. Hurst, take a rifle. Leave your drum down. We've got to have order. So I'll just tell you quietly how many there was that were put down as injured. That's badly hurt. Hospital, we don't count knocks and bruises, any of that. 25 men. 9 women. No children, whatever he says. She was a fully grown girl and she had a known record as an associate of terrorists. That was her. Then 4 men, one of them elderly, turned out to have died too. Making 5. Not so very many. Dark streets, natural surge of rage.
We didn't find the killers.
Of course we didn't find him. Not then we didn't any road. We didn't even know him. But I know him now. So what's your opinion, Walsh?
He's not balmy, he's mad. He's stuck off his nuts.
Why doesn't somebody do something, Constable?
I'm talking to Walsh.
I shall have to ask you to come down off this platform, Sergeant Musgrave. It looks to me like your meeting's got out of hand.
Aye, it has.
Go on, brother. Tell us.
My opinion, eh? I don't know why you need it. You've got your skeleton, haven't you? What more do you want? Aye, he's learnt you the truth, hasn't he? All right, that'll do. Will it, matey? Will it? If it helps you to remember what we've been fighting for, I dare say it will. Trade unions aren't formed, you know, so we can all have beer-ups on the army.
He said that'll do. I'm sick and bloody tired. I don't know what it's all about.
Come here and I'll tell you. The circus is over. Come on.
Oh, no, it's not. Just bide still a while. There's more to be said yet. When I asked you your opinion, I meant about them. We was talking about them as did this to him, up there.
Well, what about them, brother? Clear enough to me. You go for a soldier, you find yourself in someone else's country, you deserve all you get. I'd say it stands to reason.
And that's all you'd say? I thought better of you.
Now look here. What are you trying to get? You come to this place all hollering for sympathy. Oh, you've been beating and murdering and following your trade, boo-hoo. But we're not bloody interested. You mend your own heartache and leave us to sort with ours. With enough and to spare.
This is for your heart. Take another look at him. Go on, man. Both eyes, and carefully. Because you all used to know him. Or most of you did. Private Billy Hicks, late of this parish, with many a tall tale of distant campaigning to spin around the fireside. Aye, you used to know him, didn't you, Mrs. Hitchcock?
That's never Billy Hicks, you dirty liar.
He were my putter for 2 years when I would call him number 5. He would there himself for 9 a year alongside me brother.
He left his clogs to me when he went to join up. That's never our Billy.
No, that's
Never
not true.
Billy Hicks, never Billy Hicks. They don't dare believe it. You knocked them to the root, boy. Oh, the white faces.
Annie ought to be told. She's got a right to know.
Go along then and tell her.
Aye.
Are you letting her go?
Yes, I attend to your orders. Now when I say it's Billy Hicks, you can believe me it's true.
Aye, I'll believe you. And you know what I think? It's downright indecent.
Aye, but wait, because here is the reason. I'm a religious man, and I see the causes of the Almighty in every human work.
That is absolute blasphemy.
This won't do you a penn'orth of good, you know.
Not to me, no, Mr. Mayor, but maybe to you. Now, as I understand the workings of God, through greed and through the world, this man didn't die because he went alone to the opera. He was killed because he had to be. It being decided that now the people in that city was worked right up to killing soldiers. Then more and more soldiers should kill the people in that city. More and more, always. That's what I said to you. 4 men, 1 girl, and then the 25 and the 9, and it'll go on. There or elsewhere, and it can't be stopped neither, except there's someone finds out logic and brings the wheel round. You see, The Queen's book, which 18 years I've lived, it's turned inside out for me. There used to be my duty, now there's a disease.
Wildwood mad.
Wildwood mad we are, and so we fetched it home. You've had Moses and the prophets, that's Walsh, 'cause he told you. But you were all for enlisting, it'd still have gone on. Moses and the prophets, what good did they do? One man, and for him 5. Therefore, for 5 of them we multiply out, and we find it 5 and 20. So as I understand logic, and logic to me is the mechanism of God, that means that today there's 25 persons will have to be. It's true, lassie, it's him. You don't need to cry out, you knew it when he left you.
Take him down! Let me have him!
No, let her wait.
But...
I said wait. Now then, who's with me? 25 to die and the logic is worked out. Who'll help me? Walsh? I made sure that you would. You're a man like the Black Musgrave, you. You have purposes and you can lead. Join along with my madness, friend. I brought it back to England, but I brought the cure too, to turn it onto them that sent it out of this country. Way out, aye, they sent it, where they hoped that only soldiers could catch it and rave. Well, here's 3 redcoat ravers on their own kitchen hearthstone. Who can we start with? The mayor? Loyal hearts and true, every man jack of us. The parson? Draw the sword with gladness. Why, swords is for honour. Carry 'em on church parade. A sword'll never offer you 350 bullets in a minute. And it was no bright sword neither finished Billy's life in the back street. Or what about the peeler? If we'd left it to him, you'd have been boxed away to barracks 6 or 8 hours ago. Come on now, let's have you. You know I'm telling you the truth. You don't understand me, all of you. Listen, I told you we could cure.
I don't think you can.
Eh? What's that? You stand by your weapon.
No.
Keep still, the lot of you!
It won't do, Blackjack. You swore there'd be no killing.
No, I did not.
You gave us to believe. We've done what we came for, and it's there we should have ended. I've ended. No killing!
I'm with you, General.
You?
Nobody else. I'll serve you a lovely gun. Rapine and riot. When do we start breaking up the boozers? Or the pawn shops and all? Who's for a loot?
None of you at all? Oh, come on. Come on. Why, he was your Billy, wasn't he? That you knew and you worked with. Don't you want to revenge him? Billy Hicks Lassie here, he used to be yours. Tell them what they've got to do. Tell them the truth.
Wait a minute, Sergeant. Leave me to talk to them. We've got no time bothering with no squalling tarts.
Keep you your place.
I am in my bloody place. And I tell you this straight. If we lose this crowd now, we've lost all the work forever. And remember something else, there's dragoons on the road. So you've just got 5 minutes to make up your minds. We've earned our livings by beating and killing folk like yourselves in the streets of their own city. Well, it's drove us mad. And so we've come back here to tell you how and to show you what it's like. The ones we want to deal with aren't for to change you and your mates, but a bit higher up. The ones that never get hurt. Them! The mayor! The parson! The peeler! You hurt them and they'll not hurt you again. And they'll not send us to hurt you neither. But if you let them be, then us three will be killed and worse, will be forgotten. And the old bloody lot will start all over again.
Oh, for God's sake, stand with us. We've got to be remembered.